Hi everyone, let's solve this problem. Merge two sorted lists. You are given the heads of two sorted lists, list 1 and list 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists. Return the head of the merged linked list. So you will be given list 1, list 2. You just have to merge the nodes and return the head of the merged list. This is similar to the problem which is merge two sorted arrays. Now let's see how we can solve the list, and let's solve this solution using big O of n plus m. Considering this is n, this is m, length of list 1 is m and list 2 is n, it will be m plus n iteration and without using any extra space. So for that I will use something called as dummy node, and my head also will be pointing to that. You will understand why we are going to take that. Now I have list 1, list 2 pointing to these nodes, so I'll compare them. They're equal, so I'll just pick up L1 data. L1 data is 1, and then I will move my head to here. Then I will move, since this is processed, I will move L1 to the next element, and then 1 and 2, 1 is smaller, I will point my head dot next to L2, and L2 will be pointed to 3, and this should be H, and then 2 and 3, among 2 and 3, 2 is smaller, so 2 will be pointed here. After H dot next will be pointed to 2, and then H will be moved here, and L1 will be moved to here. And then among 3 and 4, 3 is smaller, I will pick it up, I'll move my H, I'll move my L2, and then L1 and L2 both are same, so I will be pointing my L1 here, moving my H and moving my L1. So now L1 is done, but L2 is left. So whatever, let's say if there are more elements as well, I just have to copy L2. So I will just associate L2 with the nodes, and yeah, we don't have to move our H because we do have a dummy node. Now in this case, dummy node dot next will have the merged list, so we can just return dummy node dot next. So now let's try to code it up. So we are given list 1, if not of list 1, then return list 2, if not of list 2, return list 1. Because one of them is not present, the lists are already sorted, so you can return one of them. Now let me create a dummy node. So we don't really have to pass any value because we are not going to use it any which ways. Now head will be pointing to dummy initially, while list 1 and then list 2, we will be iterating over this part. If there is a list, okay, list 1 dot value is less than or equal to list 2 dot value, then in that case what will happen is my head dot next will be pointing to list 1, and list 1 will be pointing to list 1 dot next, else head dot next will be pointing to list 2, list 2 will be pointing to list 2 dot next. Now once this is done, I will be pointing head.next equal to next. We can name it node as well, so the naming should not matter here. We are just using it for iterating over our nodes. And then after this is done, like we saw in this case, if there are any elements left out in L1 or L2, we just have to point it to our head. So if list1, then head.next is equals to list1, else head.next is equals to list2. It will never happen that both of the lists are present, because if both of the lists are present, it will still be in this loop and will never be reaching here. And in this case, we will return now towards the end dummy.next. So now let's try to run it up. Head should be equal to head.next. Sorry, my bad. Now let me submit it. It's successful. As I mentioned, the time complexity, it would be big of m plus n, iterating over two different lists of length, and the space complexity here would be just these two pointers, which will not take like it will be a constant time. So time complexity will be big of m plus n, and space complexity will be big of 1 constant space. I hope the solution is clear. Thank you.